Okay, so in this video, what I want us to talk about is kind of the opposite of the merging process, or sorry, the branching process, which is what we call merging. So how do I say I've been working on feature for long enough, and I'm really happy with how it turns out, and I want to kind of get it back, all of those changes back into the master branch to kind of add them to the truth of the repo. So what we're going to need to do is use this process to merge the changes from feature into master. So to give you a bit of kind of a framework of what we're trying to aim for now, we're trying to take, our previous picture of the world where the E master is on the E commit and feature is on this diverged history that's on the D commit. And we want to somehow combine them into a merged commit that kind of combines both histories. So the way we're going to do this is with the Git Merge command. Now, merging works in a very particular way. It's all about kind of taking changes from another branch and merging them into this branch. And whenever you're talking about like, what is this branch? Which branch are you on right now? That's where your head is. So if you do git status, we could see I'm on the feature branch. If I do git log, you could see I'm on the feature branch here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check out master. So I want to get on the master branch so that I can potentially merge these changes in. Now, what I'm going to do, if I do git log, you could see that I have this commit E here. It went A, B, C, E. So this is kind of all well and good. And now I want to get the changes from feature into master. So I'm going to type git merge master, or sorry, git merge feature. It's going to take the feature branch and merge it into the branch I'm currently on, master. Now, if I hit enter here, it's going to cause an error. It's going to say auto merging file.txt conflict. There is a merge conflict here. This caused an error because both master and feature changed the same part of the same file. Git is a version control system. It is not a system for automatically resolving conflicts when multiple people write to the same place. What it will do is it will surface a way for you to resolve those, but you have to do it manually. So a very common thing that happens when you're trying to merge changes from one place into another is you might get this merge conflict if you and your partner edited the same file in the same lines of code. So we need to fix this now, but we're going to have to do some manual work. And you can see here, if I do git status, it's kind of giving me this warning saying that, hey, I have some conflicts I need to fix. So I'm going to go to, it says right now, I have this file.txt. So I'm going to go ahead and open it. And you can see here that Git has gone ahead and added some extra text here. So it went ABC. That is okay. That part of the file was shared amongst both histories. So it's actually totally okay with those lines. But then it kind of got down here and got really confused because master added that line E and feature added that line D, and they both were added to that same line. And so it's just like, hey, I'm not really sure what you want here. Please tell me. This syntax here is just a really fancy way to show you on the thing kind of here. This is the start of the conflict. Everything that's kind of between these two lines on lines 4 and 6, these are the things that were on your head branch. So in this case, because we were on master, head is referring to master. We had the line E here. And then it's showing you kind of on the other branch, the one you're trying to merge from, there is this context D. Now, all you need to do is edit this file to be the version that you want. So usually, I could really decide, oh yeah, that E change was actually not useful at all. I could just delete that and say, hey, D was the final version. Or if I wanted to, I could say F or whatever is the next thing. You can edit this however you want. But usually a common thing here is to kind of, depending on the context, and usually this is going to be like real code here, try to figure out how do you kind of merge these changes together. And so you really want to make sure that you end up deleting any of these kind of lines with lots of wakas on them. But again, Git is not going to do any of this magically for you. You are the one that has to tell it, how do you resolve these conflicts? So I'm just going to go ahead and just say, let's just keep both changes. I'm going to say E followed by D. I could have swapped it, make it D followed by E. It's whatever the context of the program is that you're writing, right? So because you'd probably be doing this on like a Java program or something like this. So I'm going to go ahead and save. I'm going to do git status again, and it's still telling me I have this conflict because I haven't told Git I've resolved them. So the way to fix these conflicts is to go ahead and type to stage the change and commit it. So I'm going to go ahead and stage file.txt, and then I'm going to go ahead and commit. I'm going to give this commit message M to say, hey, this is like a merge commit. And then we've done this. So now if I do git log, you can see that I have a new commit on here. Master now is on commit M. And commit M has what came before it was E and then also D and C. Let me show you that fancy kind of one line representation to kind of show you what's going on here. Graph -- one line. So now this is where this kind of view of this git log actually starts to come into play when it actually has kind of these branches and merges. This is showing you a history of the project. First commit was A, then B, then C. Then there was a branch where we made this commit D on the feature branch. And if you can tell where the commits are with the little stars, it's trying its best to show you a nice picture of this, but it can only do so much in like a 2D text representation. This commit here, this E commit, happened on the master branch. Then we kind of merged these branches together by making a new commit M. And I lied to you a little bit when I said each commit has a single parent. It turns out that you can have more than one parent. These merge commits, which are just another commit, have a reference to both its parents. So both the commit D and the commit D happened in history. And the commit M is actually showing how did we resolve the differences? What changes did we make to make it so that D and E kind of can coexist in the same world? So again, merging is the process of taking a branch and merging it into your branch, the branch you're in right now. And a lot of the times, this process is totally fine, right? Like if I'm working on a new file, there's no way I'm going to have conflicts if no one else is changing the same file. But every once in a while, you might run into conflicts and you might have to go ahead and fix them. You might have to go into the code and change like, oh, this is the thing I actually want. And you have to use your expertise in the setup you're in, like the ecosystem you're working in, to figure out what makes sense to merge these things together. Like how do you merge this change into your set of changes? But that's not something Git does for you. That's something you do. And then you go ahead and make this merge commit to actually update it. Now, one thing I'll mention, this picture here that I have on the slides is a little bit wrong because my feature branch is still back on commit D. I never got it to get that commit M. We'll talk about how we kind of keep both branches up to date and a little bit more when we talk about remotes, but you could maybe kind of easily just go ahead and check out that feature branch. And then if you wanted to, you can merge from master into the feature branch. And Git is actually really smart at figuring out, well, since you already merged these commits in that commit M, and we already know how to do that, then it can just fast forward the feature branch to M. So if I do that fancy git log -- one line -- graph, we can now see feature and master are all caught up. They're kind of synced together, and now they match up this picture. So in the next video, we're going to talk about the same kind of idea, but in the context of remotes and working with other people.